Alright, so I have a funny skit, but first, a card will have to be explained because I use some connections I have to find the person who created citing Wobby, to plain and simple go to the source and ask them, since they created the card, what is it supposed to do? Because the common sense thing when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh is out the window. You have fucking high school dropouts that want to pass a judging test. My 7-year-old passed and say this is what the ruling is because they simply don't understand clearly American text or knowing what the hell it is. So ain't nobody with a PhD in anything becoming a judge in Yu-Gi-Oh. So you have half of the people not educated trying to tell you what the meaning of a card does when it should be fucking simple. Then you have other people that cheat and get the answers from their friend to become judges so they could be judges together. So they control people. Like cops becoming people who are bullied and everything becoming cops and then misusing the power just to freaking get even or pay another person back in a negative way, misusing what the purpose of it. But talking to the person with a translator, this card says, and what is meant to do, during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field. The second text is where everybody gets fucking confused. When summoned this way, draw one card, and if you do, your opponent gains 2,000 life points. That's just telling you what will happen when you special summon it to their opponent's side of the field and you get the effect. It would be considered in Yu-Gi-Oh terms a lingering effect. This card activates when it's revealed in your hand. You can't just special summon it and say, hey, I'm special summoning. No, do you have a response? No, you reveal it in your hand and tell them, I am attempting to use its effect. It will let me draw. You can get Ash at this point. But basically, the card is saying, when summoned this way, draw one card. The person that is summoning it, you can normal summon it, you won't get this effect. But during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field. When summoned this way, it's just telling you what happens when you summon it, special summon it to your opponent's side of the field. It's not activating, it's not triggering, nothing. It's just telling you what happens when you special summon it to your opponent's side of the field. You draw one card, and if you do, your opponent gains 2,000 life points. So let's put this real simple. I reveal to my opponent, I'm going to special summon this to your side of the field. Its effect is, I will draw if it resolves and you get 2,000 life points. They have no response. Special summon to their side of the field. In doing so, its effect has already been activated in my hand. I special summon it to their side of the field. I draw a card. That they get 2,000 life points and a monster. A monster they can tribute summon. Because if they have a 5 or 6, they can tribute summon it. If they summon a synchro monster, they can synchro summon with it. If they have the right cards and it just requires a water fish, they can fusion with it. They can summon in a monster, they can link summon with it. They're getting more benefits for you just getting one card. You're going card for card. They're gaining 2,000 life points, giving them the advantage in life and monster presence. They can synchro, exceed, fusion, tribute summon, link summon. They're getting all of that, and all you're getting is a card. The same as Upstart Goblin. You draw a card for Upstart Goblin, they get 1,000 life points. The creator of this card intended this to be the monster version of Upstart Goblin, but giving your opponent more of an advantage for just drawing one card. So it's a more negative Upstart Goblin. Because, like I said, you're giving them the card, they're gaining 2,000 life points and monster presence they contribute, synchro, exceed, and so forth with. Extremely simple. The text. When this card is summoned this way, draw one card. You're activating it from your hand. You're revealing it to activate its effect to special summon to their side of the field. It's continuing to say, if you special summon it to their field, you draw a card. That's what the person who created it to do. But you have Yu-Gi-Oh players that just don't understand it. And then you got other people that rather deal with just shutting people up and saying this is what it's going to do. Just to avoid arguments, fights with anybody that will say that they're wrong. You're just not going to want to deal with the person. Like, you're right, whatever you say, let's leave it like that. But what the card is meant to do, special summon to their field, you draw one card, they get 2,000 life points. They get 2,000 life points and a monster to do whatever with. And the person also said it's also has a built-in curse, meaning it's a Japanese thing where if you don't use this card to your advantage to go further plus, it will turn into a curse where if you don't use it, your hand size becomes 3, and if they're all monsters, then you're just you set another card, or two other cards are going to the graveyard, or 3. Your hand size will be 3. So that's what it's supposed to do. No matter what the text said, that's what it's supposed to do. And the text says that, but people can't comprehend that. So it is what it is in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Complicates everything. It oversimplifies and complicates everything to the max. There's nobody with a goddamn PhD as a judge that will say this is proper English, this is what the card means. It's a kid's game, oversimplified, and then you have fucking high school dropouts trying to tell you what a card means when they fucking dropped out of school and they have no education. Now that's not all of them, but that's most of them. So with that being said, using this card properly, I came up with a funny ass skit that shows exactly what the card is supposed to do, how it's supposed to be played. But it's funny because I had a dream about it, and then the skit is just, I became obsessed with wanting to know what the card does and properly. And then once I found out from the person who created the damn card, I was right, and most people were right. The person who activated the effect draws the card. So with that being said, this whole scenario popped in my head where, what if that very first duel of Kaiba versus Yugi was replayed in 2020, and it was the power of it behind it played out the same. Kaiba overusing power extending, summoning very powerful cards the way he does, the right way though, like special summoning with the right mechanics and cards. Instead of him just summoning a Blue Eyes and then summoning another Blue Eyes, Yugi playing swords, and then summoning the third Blue Eyes, and then Yugi summoning Exodia right when he believed in the heart of the cards. So what if that was done properly, and then still played out the same, but with 2020 cards? So I literally wrote down the whole monologue of the dream I had. I wish so bad if anybody could animate this part on. If you could animate it, it would be funny as hell for 2020 kids, getting 2020 people into Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything else. But I'm just going to go with me just saying both voices. So in this scenario, it's Yugi versus Kaiba. Played out the same way. It's going to end the same way. And this is Yugi. This is Kaiba's deck. This is his hand. So that way he gets to summon Blue Eyes the way he does. And then this is Yugi's hand. And we know Yugi has pieces of Exodia in his hand and goes, this is my grandfather's deck. And my grandfather told me every piece is like a puzzle. When put together, can summon the Forbidden One. Not knowing it. So then this is just him super thinking hard of what to do with these combos, because 2020 is all about combos and what you can do and win in one turn, right? Am I right? So I'ma just voice it and show the plays, and it'll be hella funny if somebody can animate this. So Kaiba goes first, and Kaiba says, "I'll start this duel off, Yugi. I summon the White Stone of Ancients, and then I activate Sage's effect, which will tribute the White Stone of Ancients to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon from deck. Then he activates Alternative's effect in hand by revealing Blue Eyes White Dragon to special summon Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. I'll end my turn with these two Blue Eyes, and my Ancient's effect activates my Ancient Stone to special summon a Blue Eyes from deck. Now I have 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons on field. Such a great time to be me, ha ha ha. Yugi. 2020 duels are very interesting, Kaiba. Now, much new support and combos, making duels end so fast like so. Kaiba. As you know, any luck defeating me, you'll have no luck defeating me. Next turn, I'll summon a 4th Blue Eyes White Dragon and end this duel in record-breaking time. Yugi. New Year, same Kaiba it seems. All about power and no heart of the cards. Kaiba. Just hurry up with your turn so I can end this. Will you? Yugi. Oh, it'll end alright. But not how you like, Kaiba. I'll activate this card. I activate Silent Wobby. I special summon this card to your side of the field. When summoned this way, I get to draw 1 card. And then you gain 2,000 light points. Kaiba. Hold on now, Yugi. You mean to tell me, at the price of drawing a single card, I get a free monster and 2,000 light points? A monster in which I can use my second stage of white to summon a 4th Blue Eyes White Dragon for free? You're just giving away the duel, huh? Yugi. Still, so full of yourself, huh, Kaiba? Everything comes with its price. But since everything is now in place, I can now play my last 2 card combo. Since your life points is higher, and you have the strongest monster, Kaiba. Strongest monster, of course. Yugi. As I was saying, I can now activate Draw Fate. This allows me to select 3 cards from my deck with different names and place them randomly on top and then draw 1. Kaiba, wait. Any cards? Yes. With 2 pieces of Exodia in hand, I'll place the other 3 on top, then draw 1. But for the rest of the turn, I cannot set cards and can only play 1 more card effect. Wait, Exodia? Well, too bad you won't get the last 2. And since you're wide open, I'll summon my last Blue Eyes White Dragon and end this duel. Yugi. Oh, Kaiba, so ahead of yourself. Now I played this new card called Triple Tactical Talents. Since Silent Wobby activates its effect while under your control, I'll activate its effect to draw 2 cards. Oh no, that means you'll be able to... That's right, Kaiba. I've assembled all 5 pieces of the puzzle. I summon Exodia, the Forbidden One. Go ahead, say impossible. We all know it's coming, Kaiba. You know what, Yugi? I'll defeat you one day. You can count on it. Yugi. It's always good to dream big, Kaiba. But 2020 has so many new support, decks, and combos. I'm looking forward to all the upcoming duelists making their way to the top of the charts. That's basically it. I just thought I had that dream, and it was just funny as hell. If this is used properly to what it does, with Draw of Fate, triple tactical talents, and the Exodia, of course, because you're revealing special summoning. Once after its special summon is when its effect activates for you to draw a card and your opponent to gain 2,000 life points. Since your opponent controls it at that point, when its lingering effect activates, continuing to activate because you're revealing to show special summon to their field, then it activates. Well, it still activates, or whatever the terms is. You're drawing one card, they're getting 2,000 life points. Now they have monster presence, even if he didn't have these cards. And with Draw of Fate, it sets up the perfect thing, and it's pretty awesome having the Head of Exodia on it, Dark Magician, and Blackluster Soldier on it. I mean, you can't really see it like this, but it allows you to activate this card just like Upstart would, but Upstart doesn't give you a monster. Silent Wobby gives them a monster, they gain 2,000 life points, you draw a card, which allows you to perfectly activate Draw of Fate. And since it special summons first, then the effect goes off, continuing from there that you draw a card and they get 2,000 life points. You can activate Silent Wobby. It doesn't say they have to activate the card. It has to be a card that activates under their control. So then that allows you to play the effect of triple tactical talents to draw 2 cards. So I had this whole animated dream where this exact thing happened. It was just, to me, funny as hell, and I figured, why not laugh about it? It'll be 2020 Yu-Gi-Oh versus Kaiba, and still losing the same way, but just how everybody else plays, everybody's losing in one turn. Summoning 7 negates, 7 monsters, thinking you beat down, and going from there. But if this was like this, it should be like this. All you would need would be at least 2 pieces, or summon Sangan or Witch, attack, destroy, to go from there. Like, there's a bunch of different ways, but you would just need at least guaranteed 2 pieces. Then special summon Silent Wobby to their field, which allows them to gain life points. You draw a card no matter what it is. Draw a Fate, stack the other 3, then you draw 1. And since the rest of its effect activates after your opponent gets it, they control it. So your opponent activates a monster effect during your main phase, activate this card. So that plays with it, like they're getting the card and the rest of its effect is going off. So for you to draw, and they gain 2,000 life points, which allows you to play triple tactical talents to summon Exodia. Like, that's what the card is supposed to do. Very simple, because the text, even the text, the person who created it said this, and the freaking text. During your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field. The rest of the text is telling you what happens when you do it. When summoned this way, draw 1 card. And if you do, your opponent gains 2,000 life points. It's very simple. You're revealing to them that you're going to special summon, and it's going to draw, so they can ash it at this point. This is what's meant to happen. But you're special summoning it to their field. Upon being special summoned, you're drawing a card. It doesn't matter who controls it. It's still going from there. You're the person who activated it. It's your card. You're the one summoning it. It'll be like saying, I summon Stardust Dragon, and I tribute its effect, and it says, if this card was sent to the graveyard with its own effects. The same wording, if summoned this way, or sent this way, there's always the if, colon signs, you can draw a card. This one does. Stardust says bring it back at the end of the turn. It's an effect that will continue at a certain phase. Except this card, the way it's worded, it activates once it's special summoned to the field. So you're the person that activates it. You're the person who controls. You're the person who gets the effect. Just like if your opponent Monster Reborn your starter's dragon and tribute it to negate one of your Mirror Force or something, it goes back to your graveyard. They don't get the effect. The monster's yours from your deck. This card is yours from your hand. You're revealing to special summon it, and if they don't ash it at that point, it successfully goes through. And the other effects is simply saying, when special summon this way, you draw a card. It's letting you know what happens when you special summon it. You can summon it to your side of the field, nothing happens. But if you give it to your opponent, you get to draw a card. You're giving them the advantage of light points and a monster. I'm leaving it at that. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what the creator said it's supposed to be. But Yu-Gi-Oh complicates everything and fucks everything up for everybody. When it's freaking simple and it's meant to be enjoyed and loved, but who cares? Either way, this is how it's supposed to work. Like if you agree. Thumbs down if you don't agree. But it is what it is.